Let's get real. Chasing someone who doesn't value you isn't just painful, it's a slow form of emotional self-destruction. At first, it feels like hope. Like maybe if you give it just a little more time or send the perfect message, they'll see your worth. They'll finally wake up and realize what they've been ignoring all along. But that moment never comes. You're left in a cycle of waiting, overthinking, rereading old messages for signs, blaming yourself, and then, starting over. Again and again. We chase because we're convinced that our love can fix what they lack. That our presence can replace their indifference. That if we prove ourselves enough, they'll finally stay. But chasing someone who doesn't value you is like watering a dead plant. It doesn't grow. It doesn't change. It just leaves you drained. So, why do we do it? It usually comes down to one thing: wounds that haven't healed. Maybe you were told you had to earn love. Maybe you were abandoned, ignored, or overlooked. Maybe you got used to being the one who always tries harder, so hard that it became your identity. Now, when someone is distant, you don't see it as a red flag. You see it as a challenge. But that's the hard truth. Someone who truly sees your worth will never make you chase them. You don't need to prove your value. You are valuable. And you owe it to yourself to stop feeding people who leave you starving. Because every time you give your energy to someone who doesn't appreciate it, you rob yourself of the peace that comes from self-respect. You miss the chance to connect with people who do want to be there, who reciprocate, who show up without you having to beg. So what do? You pause. You reflect. And then, you detach. You stop romanticizing potential. You stop waiting for closure from someone who was never open in the first place. You stop placing your worth in someone else's inconsistent hands. Start placing that worth back in yours. Because walking away from what doesn't serve you isn't weakness, it's wisdom. At first, it will hurt. Your phone will feel too quiet. You'll feel the ache of letting go. But over time, you'll realize that the peace that comes from not chasing is louder than the silence they left behind. You'll discover that you're still whole without them. You'll realize that choosing yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. And eventually, you'll find someone who doesn't just see your light, but respects it, without you having to dim it first. So to anyone feeling like you're not enough, stop trying to change their mind. Start changing your story. From "I hope they choose me" to "I finally chose myself." Because that's when everything begins to shift. Not when you chase, but when you stand still and let go. Because the moment you stop chasing those who don't value you, is the same moment you start attracting those who do.